So we are back to making things for my personal channel, and today I'm going to show you how to make this bow. And I know I said I'm going to get started back to doing my jewelry. I am going to do that, and like I said before in my previous videos, we're only going to do one video a week this year for my personal channel, just because I have other projects that I'm working on and I need to, you know, kind of spread my time out. So what you're going to need, I have here, and you can use anything. You can use ribbon, you can use scrap fabric. I'm using actually a felt sheet, and that's how I made this bow. So I cut out, I didn't measure obviously, but I would have to say this is about 2 inches. So I measured this out, and I have this part, which is actually going to be our back piece. This is going to be our main piece, and I have a strip here that I'm going to use to put in the center. I also have scissors, some thread to go in between and tie everything together. I have a little rubber band here, some stretchable ribbon. This is like fold over ribbon. I will leave the link to where I purchased this from, and a lighter to finish off the ends of our ribbon here. So what we're going to do first, I'm going to show you how to make this bow. So we're going to start off with the big piece, the main piece, and I'm just going to dab in one corner and dab in another corner on the felt. Then I'm going to take this, I'm working with one hand here, I'm not set up anywhere, so I am actually in my room, and I'm just going to put those two together, as you can see. And yes, I did not put any hot glue here. You can use hot glue. You don't have to actually put yours together. I'm sorry, I brain fart for a minute. Or you can sew yours together, whatever is more comfortable for you. So what we have now, it looks like a little bracelet. So it's just a little circle piece of fabric right now. So now we're going to fishtail our ends, and the way I do that is I fold it in half and then I cut diagonally. So I'm going to do that with both sides, and then we'll start putting everything together. So I'm kind of showing you what I mean by fishtailing the ends. You see how I have just the corners, and I'm going in a diagonal line, and I'm just going to cut that. So now that we have our two pieces here, as you can see, we have our little fishtails and we have the main part of our bow. What I want to do is actually put these two pieces together, because I'm going to turn them into the bow at the same time, so everything is uniform, and I won't have to, it will take less time, and I won't have to do one piece at a time. So what I'm going to do is take just a little dab of my hot glue and put it right in the center of the felt. And then I'm just going to sit this in the center like that. And it really doesn't matter to me that this part is up, because I just wanted these two pieces to be together. So that's why I only put a little dab there. So what we're going to do now, and this is going to take some work. Now that we have both of our pieces together with that just little dab of hot glue, we're going to take both pieces at the same time, and we're going to crease. I'm going to show you that again, because this can be difficult, and thankfully the felt fabric is a little bit stiffer, so it's easier to work with. You're going to crease it and then fold it. That's the easiest way for me to explain. Crease and fold, crease and fold. So what it should look like is this. And I'm using thread today. Normally what I use is like tie wraps or something like that to make sure this is secure together. If you choose, you could put hot glue here and then put hot glue on each side so it stays together. So I'm going to hold this with this hand, and I'm going to get my thread here, and it's easier for me to just keep it on the spool as I'm doing this. So I'm going to take the thread and I'm just going to kind of set it in the center like so, and then just kind of go around a few times just to get it a little bit secure. Okay, so now that I have the thread here and we have our bow, and you can go ahead when you're done and flare this out so to make it look a little poofier once it's all said and done. So before we put our centerpiece on, what I'm going to do is get our little hair tie here. And I'm going to place the hair tie in the back like so. And once I put the centerpiece on, I'm going to attach it to the bow and the elastic rubber band. So for this, I'm going to put another dab of hot glue on the back. And I'm going to put just a little bit more than I did when I attached the main piece and the back piece. So I'm going to set that on there, and you kind of want to work a little bit fast with hot glue just because it dries very quickly. So now that's sitting there. At this point, we're going to take our centerpiece. What I like to do is see where I want it to go and how much of it I want to use before I actually cut it and hot glue it. So I turn my front piece around and I just take a look and see how tightly I want to pull it around the back. And I don't want to pull it that tight because I don't want our bow to look like it's just being squoze together. So that's pretty good for me. So now what I'm going to do is find where I want to cut it and just cut that right off. And now I can go ahead and finish this off. So I'm going to take my hot glue and put it right there. Fold that down. And I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. Turn it around, put hot glue right across. And if you want, you can actually put the hot glue in the front. It doesn't matter. No one's going to see it. It's just how secure you actually want your hair tie in your bow to be. So now we have that, and it's all done. And now your daughter or granddaughter, cheer team, whatever, has their own custom hair bows. And you can make a ton of these. I actually was able, out of one felt sheet, to make 4 of these bows. So that was pretty good. And we're all done. Now you pretty much do the same thing with the elastic, but I'm going to show you what I do with my elastic. I take the ends and I just kind of finish them off so they don't fray. I don't want to burn it too much because then you'll have burn marks on your elastic, but you just want to get it enough to where it doesn't fray anymore. And what I normally do before I add my bow, make sure I have it on the right side first, take the 2 pieces together, make sure it's going to fit on my daughter's head, and then I just tie it off at the end. And the same with the rubber bands. You can make a ton of these bows in no time. And then you just go ahead and add the bow the same way you would like you did with the rubber band, and you will have 2, 1 for a hair tie if she wants to wear a ponytail one day, and 1 if she wants to wear a headband. And you could give these out to friends or whoever else you may want to give them out to. That's our tutorial for this week. I will see you next week with another tutorial. Bye.